Thank you very much. Thank you. We have just come from learning all about wildlife. But for now, I told you that if you wanted any information on diabetes, this lady has committed her life to educating and creating awareness. Meet her right now. Put your hands together. Show some love for Lydia, Agyen, Frimpong. All right. Lydia, there we go. There, back, there. All right. Welcome to For Life, that's right.
Yes.
Sure. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Lydia, you have an amazing story.
Yes, I do.
You were diagnosed diabetic?
Yes. When I was 24, going on 25.
Until then, you didn't know?
No, I did not know.
No symptoms, nothing?
No symptoms when I was in Ghana. But like 2 months into going to America, like 2 months in America, like I got sick, having headaches, like all the symptoms you can imagine. So my roommate took me to the emergency room, and when I went there, they did all the tests you can imagine. So one test that they usually do to diagnose diabetes, mine was extremely high.
The sugar level?
Yes. So the doctor asked me, oh my God, do you have, I'm like, what's diabetes? I remember my mom telling me that she has diabetes long time ago, but I have no idea what you're talking about. So he's like, you have diabetes, your A1C is 13 point something, like just saying the numbers. So you need to go see a doctor who can take care of you. I'm like, okay. But I got home, I'm like, oh, these doctors, they're always scaring you. Well, I'm here in America to work and take care of my family. So why like this? So I just ignore whatever.
Really? You ignored it?
Yes, I did. I did. Then I just went about my business, just doing working. Then I moved from New York to Massachusetts. Then I met my husband. I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. So they put me on insulin till I gave birth to my son. Then after, the doctor was like, Lydia, you need to do something. But I did not tell the doctor that I was diagnosed. A doctor told me in New York that, no, I did not mention that.
Why? Was that deliberate?
Yes, because like, you know, like these doctors are scaring people because they will tell you. They will tell you what is going on. They'll be saying crazy stuff to scare you. So I didn't say anything. So like they put me on medication. I didn't take it. Until I had my last baby, when my sugar got so bad that they left me no option, because like the 3 doctors sat me down and they're like, Lydia, you are too young. You don't want to die. You have all these kids, 5 kids, and they look up to you. So like whatever they told me, it really touched me. Then I'm like, okay, I'm ready. What do you want to do? Then they said, oh, okay, there's this pump. It gives you insulin around the clock, and there's this machine too. It checks your sugar every 5 minutes. Then your pump will also serve as a monitor. So if your sugar is dropping, like you know the activity, the sugar levels going on in your system. You wanna try it? I'm like, yeah. And me, I like wearing like tight clothes and stuff. So for this to be on me, for me to not able to wear them.
Something that you have to wear?
Yeah, I have to wear them.
So you're wearing it now?
Yes, I'm wearing it now. Like I hide them. So so I started that. They had to train me for 2 weeks on that.
So this is a pump that's constantly monitoring the level of insulin you have?
Yes, and I change it every 3 days. I change it. I put it's like a cartridge. Then you put the insulin in. And me, because I'm bad diabetic, I consume about 100 units of insulin a day. So like, I qualify for that. So every 3 days, I put 300 units in there. And every 3 days, I have to change it. Then this one, that checks my sugar.
You're wearing 2 pumps?
Yes.
So this one checks the sugar?
Sugar, yes. And this one gives me insulin.
Insulin?
Yes.
Constantly? Constantly. It means your situation was quite...
Oh, it was really, really bad. It was really, really bad. So the doctor, they did all the tests and they figured it that I was born with it. Yes. It's not like my lifestyle or something that led to it.
Let's look at the transition, because you were somebody that was in denial.
Yeah.
For most of that, you said, no, you don't have it.
Yes.
And then you flipped all the way to a strong advocate trying to get people to be aware.
Yes.
And what caused that?
Okay, what caused that? My story, of course. Then my son was diagnosed when he was 13. And that like that took a big toll on my life, on me psychologically as well. And my mom also is diabetic, and I have friends and brothers, like families that have diabetes. And me, since 2009, I come to Ghana every year to see my mother and seeing people. And usually my mom's doctor is, remember I introduced him to you, he's the medical director for my foundation. So like I go to visit him at Confanoche, then I see people, like, it broke my heart. See, then I figured that people need education. They need to be educated more into diabetes. I need to create awareness for that disease, because people take it so lightly and it shouldn't be. They have to take it serious. Because diabetes, when the complications start coming, it attacks the major organs of your body, your heart, your kidneys, your liver, your nerves. Like you get a cut and it won't even heal. Then at the end of the day, you end up being, your leg, your toe be amputated. And it's really sad. So all this motivated me to, you know what, people need education.
Yeah,
they need to be educated.
Yeah. And you said you were type 1?
Yes. Yeah.
So there's type 1 and there's type 2?
Type 2, yes.
And you are type 1?
Yes.
What is type 1?
The type 1 is like autoimmune. You are born with it.
Okay.
You are born with it.
Okay.
And usually the type 1, like they don't discover it right away. Like maybe in your teens, in your early 20s, they discover it. And they also have type 2. And the type 1, your pancreas, we have like this organ behind the stomach right here.
Pancreas.
Yeah, it produces insulin. So with type 1, it does not produce insulin at all.
No,
it's like
nothing?
nothing. You depend solely on insulin. So that's why like they have the insulin medication that you give to yourself. Then with the type 2, the pancreas produces insulin, but it's not enough. So
you have to like top it up?
Top it up, something like that, exactly. And type 2, people think that you cannot inherit type 2. Yes, you can. It can be inherited. It can be inherited, that type 2. And also your lifestyle can also make you get type 2. And with your lifestyle, if you don't have any family history of diabetes whatsoever, and it's your lifestyle that made you get diabetes, you can change your lifestyle, eat right, exercise, whatever, and the diabetes can go away.
On the 2?
On the 2, where you get it through your lifestyle, and whereby you don't have any family history.
Okay.
But if you have,
so if it's acquired through some lifestyle,
yes,
that one you can fix.
Yes, by changing your lifestyle. But if you have a family history, even if your mom or your great-grandmother, if you have a little bit of family history, you're at risk for getting the type 2 diabetes. So diabetes is so complicated and it's so sad. At times it makes my heart break because people don't take it serious at all.
Yeah. And I'll invite the doctor to introduce me to, because he alarmed me. He says there have been cases where people have been rushed to the hospital with stroke.
Yes.
And after they do the checks, they realize that the stroke was caused by diabetes.
Diabetes, yes, because if your sugar goes really high,
it can send you into a stroke.
Yes, it can send you into a stroke, or it can fall into a coma, and in the coma, you start having mini strokes. Mini strokes. Yeah, and that can mess you up big time. And sometimes people get out of it, and then they will end up in a wheelchair because they can't walk, or they have like left side, right side it's not working. But it's serious because that doctor is my mom's doctor.
Oh, that's your mom's doctor.
Yes, and he's the medical director, the one that you were working with. Yes. And he's the medical director for Frankel Foundation for Diabetics.
Okay.
I've known him for years.
Great. So now I'm glad you mentioned Frankel, because it's a good time to talk about Frankel. Because of the condition that you have and all the experiences, you have decided to set up a foundation, Frankel, to one, educate people, create awareness.
Awareness, yeah. The education part is my main focus, because like if you educate the people, you educate them, it will help reduce the prevalence of diabetes and improve the quality of life of those diagnosed and yet to be diagnosed. So these are my main thing. Yeah, and I'll do anything. I've given my life for this because it's my dream project.
Yeah.
And it took me years to figure out what I want to do. And this is what God put on my heart.
I see. So now let's talk. You know, you were diagnosed in the US.
Yeah.
They gave you some pump that you're wearing.
Yes.
People who are being diagnosed in Ghana, do they have the options of a pump to wear and something to monitor insulin?
Yes, they have the option to wear the pump, but the pump, I don't think it's in Africa yet, and it's very expensive.
Yeah.
It's very, very expensive, and they need training, and come on, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah.
So
so my question is, somebody's listening to you right now, they are in Ghana, they can't even buy a ticket to go to Togo. You have to have a pump. I was diagnosed in the US. You are lucky. What about me?
Me.
What is your word for them? Because you know.
Yeah, my word for them, because I always say that to live with diabetes is expensive, whether you like it or not, because you have to eat right, you have to eat organic food. And Ghanaians, you guys are so lucky. Most of the food is grown organically, but in the US, it's so expensive. The organic food, they are so expensive. So all that I can tell them, those who have diabetes, just take your medication. Don't take whatever the doctor tells you for granted. And if the doctor tells you, oh, you have to come for routine checkups every 3 months, please go. You know, exercise. Not like any vigorous exercising, just maybe 2 minutes of walk every day around your house or whatever, or your area. It will help. And just eat right. Not too much carbohydrates. More protein, more veggies. Some fruits, because some people think that, oh, you have to eat fruit. Yes, a lot of fruits, they have carbohydrates in them. So you don't have to eat too much fruits, but like some fruits, more veggies, and small bit of carbohydrate. Yeah, and people think that, oh, I have to eat too much protein. No, you don't have to. If you are diabetic, you don't have to eat too much protein. And at the end of the day, if the protein also gets into your urine, it's another problem. So like you need to like balance it out, you know, and just make sure that you eat snacks in between your meal, especially those on insulin. You can drop. Me, I can drop easily. And as a diabetic, you need to eat 3 times a day and have snacks in between. And it will help. And as I said, it's very expensive to live as a diabetic.
So Frankel Foundation, can people contact the foundation? The doctor is the head?
Yes, the doctor is the head, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once they call, he'll be linked to the doctor?
Yes, because the other time when you left, we found like, I think more than 10 people who have diabetes.
When you did the screening?
Yes, when we did the screening, that have diabetes, but they don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah, so the doctors talked to them and made referrals. Then we're going to follow up with them. Yeah.
10?
10. And some of them were hypertensive, like bad.
Wow.
Yes, I'm talking about bad.
So this leads us to a very, that checkups are so necessary.
Very necessary.
It's one thing that it's not even a part of our culture. So I'm going for a checkup. It's like, anyway, you know, you see nice. I want to check up. Anyway, you. No,
it's very important. Routine checkups are really, really important. In America, if my doctors have been with them for years, and if I miss my appointment, they will call me personally. Lydia, you need to come, because they think I'm too young to go through all this. And with my son, you know, and one time I was diagnosed with depression, which I still see a psychiatrist for that. And it's sad. So the routine checkups are really, really important. And I think the government should do better for the insurance, so that like those who don't even have money, the insurance can help them. Because in America, those that don't work, they have insurance for free, and the government takes care of them. I'm not comparing, but at least like, so
how's your husband?
My husband
handling his diabetic wife.
Oh, and then a son, right?
And son.
He always said that, oh, well, I have a diabetic wife, I have a diabetic son, I'm also diabetic. That's what he always say. I'm like, yeah. So he's really worried, especially when he see me go through the hypoglycemic episode when I'm having it. And
that's when your sugar
drops. Yeah. And like, he gets so sad, and at times I can tell he's tearing up, but he doesn't want me to see. And I remember when my son was diagnosed, he was crying. He didn't cry in front of me, but when he was going, like they left the hospital with my other kids, he was crying like a baby. So they told me later, it's really tough for him, and he doesn't even want to think about it.
But you have 5 kids. There's only one that's diabetic?
Yes, the middle one. Yes.
The middle one.
Yes, and my siblings, I'm the only one with diabetes.
Really?
Yes, and my mom's siblings, she's the only one with diabetes. Yes. but her cousins and stuff, they have diabetes. And I think 2 years ago, one passed away from complications of diabetes. Yes, and I've met another one too. Yeah, who is also like a bad diabetic. Yeah.
So the bottom line is, folks, please do your checkups. You know, it doesn't take too much. Just go and have a little prick and check your sugar level.
I mean,
you know?
it won't hurt because, Mr. KSM, diabetes is crazy. It's a killer. It can kill you instantly. If your sugar drops massively, you can die. If it goes high, you can die. So it's like we need to do the routine checkups, eat right, and
because once you diagnosed, you have a way of living with it, like you are doing now. You know, so it's good to at least know you have it, and then do the appropriate.
Yes. And when you also left, I met this lady. She knows she has diabetes, and she said she's done. She's given up, and since January, she's not taking her meds. And her sugar was really high. She couldn't even walk that well. And one of the doctors asked me to talk to her. So I talked to her. Both of us, we were cheering up. I'm like, I asked her if she has kids, and she said she had only one son. I'm like, you know, your son needs you. Nobody can take very good care of your son apart from you. Just live for her. Then I told her my story. I'm like, I gave up too. But looking at my 5 kids, I'm like, no, they need mommy. Mommy needs to be around for them. So,
And just so you know, she says when you left, because she organized a nice walk to create awareness. And so it was when I left that, you know, just so you can locate what you mean by when you left.
Exactly. When you left, I know,
right? and so the screening, 10 people discovered they had it.
Yeah, maybe even more. Maybe even more,
So, well, bless you, you know, because that's all we need for people. Something to ginger them to go and do the checkup. Before then, they were normal people. They think, you know, now they realize they have
and you know one funny thing, diabetes, like, it can't show the signs and symptoms. It can't, like, it doesn't show that fast, or then before you know it.
Once it starts showing, it means it's eating into you.
Exactly. So something needs to be done.
So for people who are not aware, who, you know, like I was saying before, you know it's eating you. Are there any symptoms that you can spot in the beginning?
Yes. You have headache, like severe headaches, like that look like migraine. You get thirsty. You drink a lot of water. You pee a lot. You lose weight massively. You get cramps in your legs. You have blurry vision. You know, and you have wounds that are not healing and stuff like that.
So when you're going through this, there could be diabetes.
Yes, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility that you're having diabetes. Yes.
Okay, so thirst.
Extreme thirst, extreme voiding. Sorry, I'm using nursing terms. Extreme urinating. In nursing, we say voiding. Extreme voiding, extreme thirst, blurry vision, wounds that are not healing, and at times your blood pressure can even also go high because hypertension and diabetes, they go hand in hand. They are twins. So if I'm hypertensive as well, and even my 15-year-old is also hypertensive. Yes. Wow. Yes, it goes. They're like twins. They go hand in hand. So, like, if you have diabetes, there's a possibility that you're going to have hypertension. Yes.
Okay. So, folks, you've had the symptoms, man. So, you may be thinking, oh, these are light things I'm seeing, but just check up. That's all we're saying.
Exactly.
And at least rule it out and know that it is not diabetes. It's not this, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. But thank you so much.
You're welcome. But before you go, I have a small gift here for you.
You brought me a gift?
I brought you a gift.
I saw you holding something, you know, I'm like, I'm praying maybe it's a gift. I don't know.
I brought you a nice gift because, first of all, I appreciate the fact that you even came to my health fair. And the walk, God, I'm like, where did this man got that stamina? Oh my God. I couldn't. I had to jump in the ambulance because I almost passed out. And look at you, like, I'm like, oh my God. And I appreciate so much. So I have this.
So you brought this for me?
Yes.
I was watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, that's fossil.
It's a fossil watch?
Yes. So anytime you put on, you remember me and Frankel Foundation for Diabetics.
Show some love, man. Oh, this is beautiful. Can I get a hug?
Yes, yeah? Of course.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. My goodness.
Mr. KSM, you are a legend. I used to watch you when I was little. Like, I never thought that I was going to meet you one day.
And talk about such an important
program.
Exactly.
Now you've made my dream come true.
Oh, so. Fantastic. God bless you too.
Thank you.
Folks, that's Lydia and is there a number you can leave us for Frankel Foundation?
Yes.
Please do. I almost forgot that.
It's 0207 966220. 0207 966220. Call me anytime. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you.
Please make use of the number and call. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.